It's that time. Time to enter a chapter that I remember hating. And hopefully I will like it better this time. Although because I spent as little time as possible in this chapter, I probably won't really have any stories to tell about it, so... my commentary might be a little bit more sparse, because I won't have as much to say, but we'll see how it goes. This is really not a very well kept together room. We'll just, Alright, I have to know, does this hurt me? Surprisingly, no. Good to know. It's fake fire, the really convincing fake fire that I saw that one time. I assume the time rift that opened up is the anomaly that spawned from putting together the crayon box. So I guess I will have to put together more relics, maybe, to get every timepiece. That might be an issue. We'll see. This chapter is the one that used to be... I'm trying to remember what it was called. But it used to be a desert. It was like Sand and Sails. I think that's what it was called, yeah. I don't know where the sails came from. Maybe it used to have... Well, because I equate it to being kind of like the desert version of the Great Sea from Wind Waker, because the idea was that you had this big dirt bike that you would drive around, and you would go to these different little, kind of like islands, these different locations in the desert, at your own pace, going wherever you felt like, and the only thing limiting you was you had a certain little hydration meter, and you had to make sure that you didn't die of heat stroke by staying out in the hot sunlight too long. Which I thought was a cool idea, and I kind of would have liked to see that be finished. It also kind of reminds me of the dry desert in the first Paper Mario, which maybe that's kind of what they were inspired by. I don't know for sure, but other things were inspired by Paper Mario, so I wouldn't doubt it. But instead of having the dirt bike, or maybe it was going to be a boat at some point, I don't know, because I don't know where the sails part of the Sand and Sails comes from, but instead of having that, we now have these mountains where you travel between them with zip lines, or ropeways, as apparently they are also called. I learned that from Danganronpa V3. Here is one of those such zip lines. And this one is far too long. It introduces the concept, I guess. I guess the feeling that you're supposed to get here is a feeling of whimsy, like look at how much you can explore now. But I didn't get that feeling when I first got here. It is the free roam chapter. It should be what I wanted from this game, because it takes out most of the linearity, however you pronounce that word, that I kind of criticized this game for before. But the thing is, it's still very streamlined, or zip-lined, as the case may be. I kind of don't like the fact that you can't just fly freely to every mountaintop. Would have been cool if maybe you had a helicopter, maybe you had a flying carpet, maybe, I don't know, just something to go wherever. That's why I liked the dirt bike and the desert so much. But it's still freeing enough. I just hope that I actually find myself enjoying the chapter, because... Okay, the left trigger was not working for me for a moment. I spent the bare minimum amount of time in this chapter because I wasn't enjoying myself, and the missions that I completed, I remember just not being very pleasant, so hopefully those are either not so bad, or I find a lot more that are a lot better. We'll just have to see. And I have no idea how many timepieces there are in this chapter. So that's another thing that we'll have to play by ear. I can say, though, that this is a lot prettier than the desert chapter would have been, and Alpine Skyline is a good name. Probably could skip this. We get the point. It's a lot of ropeways roping their way into your heart. So we'll start with this one down here, I guess. The red one. I'm going to have to keep track of which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. There might be an easy way to check that, I'm not sure. I hope there is. Because otherwise it feels like... Well, I guess if you don't take long breaks like I do between recordings, well, not super long breaks, just like 24 hours, but then you would be able to remember where you have been already. And I guess having this be based around zip lines and not complete free roaming with a dirt bike, that does help in guiding you to places that you have not been before, so that's something. Ember Summat. Oh yeah, and it tells you how many treasures there are. That's nice. I can appreciate that. Didn't notice that before. So I want to say when I played this chapter the first time, I might have gotten 2 or maybe 3 of the timepieces. And one of the ones that I really didn't like revolved around the birds, similar to the ones that we're seeing with what looks like either Elvis or Donald Trump toupee hair, and Kanye West windshield glasses. Not windshield. Whatever those Venetian blind-looking glasses are. I don't really get what the fashion statement is with those. They're not really particularly pretty to look at, but here's the lava cake. I do enjoy the existence of the lava cake. It's a bit silly. Okay, this is a really nice scene here. Makes me think of Wind Waker, and it's got any scene in a game with like shallow water and steam rising off of it. It's pretty cool. Or pretty warm, probably, but also cool.
How'd a place end up like this anyway?
I have no idea, but you have a cute accent. Yeah, this gives me sort of the same feeling that I get from Cloud Cuckoo Land and Banjo-Tooie. Because in that level, you have nonsense locations like a gigantic trash can, a gigantic hunk of cheese, a gigantic pot of gold, I think was one of the things. So to have a huge lava cake, it kind of fits in with all of that. This was one of the levels that or one of the acts. It's not really an act, I guess, in this case, but one of the timepieces that I went for in my first playthrough, and I seem to recall not really enjoying it very much just because I felt like these platforms that rise up and go down in the lava, I felt like they were not timed very well and seemed kind of unprofessionally handled, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I just was bad at it, or I was rushing too much. It's always a possibility. Because I got more and more impatient as I went through the game. Didn't give it the proper attention that it probably deserves. Yeah, could have timed that better. Swing. Swing. little bit like Dragon Roost. Oh, nope, don't go that way. Kinda wish... I said before, like, oh, this game is too easy to control. But now I'm saying, man, I wish it was easier to control, because it would be kind of... It would probably be too OP to be able to dive backwards from the direction that you just went. So, scratch what I just said. I've cleared the lava cake. I ate the whole thing. I think I'll drink some water because that lava cake was just too spicy for me. So what is next then, in this grand free-roaming adventure?
The birds at the birdhouse still shining.
Oh, the birdhouse. This is the one that I remember really not liking. Bird pass fork. Pass the fork, please. These tightropes don't really look a whole lot like tightropes compared to the other ones that we've seen in the game. I always expect them to be white, in part because of sunshine, because the tightropes in that game were always white. But they were white earlier in this game, and now they're black, and it just looks like a background detail at first. By the way, you can let go of the hookshot button whenever you're sliding across the ropeways. Rope line, zip, flags. It would be a little amusing to just let go and fly to your death, but... Can I really not double jump there? Okay, I can. The way that works... You double jump, if you double jump into a wall and then wall jump, you can't double jump again. But if you jump the first time and wall jump, then you can double jump afterwards. So basically, you have one double jump, and you decide when you use it. I remember them considering changing that at some point in development. I guess they decided against it. Or at least it was a suggestion in the community suggestion board. Oh man, another horn. I'm gonna get so lost. Or, okay, that could happen. I kind of like how if you look closely at that animation, the flags are coming from partway across the zip line instead of coming from the opposite end where it would make the most sense. Like, it's not actually coming from anywhere, it's just appearing. Swing, 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 swing. Yeah, that's the other thing about the zipline mechanic that I guess I didn't like before, is that it takes a long time to get from one place to the other, and there's not really anything that you can do in the meantime. All you're doing is waiting. So there's a lot more waiting in this chapter than in others. On the regs. I still kind of consider the brewing hat to be... Climb the Thank you. To be kind of the most useless of the hats. Because mainly what it's used for is breaking open boxes and other such things that... If those boxes and things weren't there, then this hat wouldn't have a reason to exist, and the game would be faster as a result of it. It feels kind of like busy work, I guess. I'm surprised I can stand on this. But I guess it also serves as an attack. Not that I know why you would use this as an attack, since I feel like the homing attack and the umbrella work just as well and are possibly better. Where is this? This does not look like a good place to be. Yeah, I really flubbed that one up. Oh, I'm back at the bottom. Okay. Climb the... Little Miss Gordon Freeman. Have you lost all your upper body strength? Has sliding arms first against the dirt been too hard on you? I don't know. Surely there is more here. Don't call me Shirley. This feels new to me. I know that I've done this before, but it's been a while, and... Again, don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's not something that I have any stories about. But that's also kind of why I'm a little bit excited about this chapter, because there's a lot that I haven't seen, or that I haven't experienced firsthand at least. So that was the Yellow Band Hills. I don't know why I was there in the first place. Because that's all I had to do there? There wasn't a timepiece or anything? Okay. Was this new? Okay, that is new. That's the bird cage. The caged dog child ritual. Whatever that was in Danganronpa V3. I don't remember what that was. The birdhouse. It is either where birds live or where they go to serve their jail time. I see you there, badge seller. I'm not gonna... I don't want whatever you're selling, which I know is badges. That kind of comes with the name. I just want to get through this as quickly as possible, because this... this was the worst part of the game for me whenever I first played it. It was all because of these stupid pushy birds. I'll show you what they do. Hard to see because of camera, once again. But yeah, they just bump you off. And I say bump that. So hopefully that will not be a problem. I'll avoid them the best I can. One thing that I kind of dislike in game design, depending on how it's done, is enemy spam. That's one of the reasons I don't like Misery Mire in A Link to the Past. I feel like that feels like a ROM hack stage to me, as opposed to an actual well-designed Zelda stage. Whoops. Did not jump far enough, and I'm back here. Good. Thank you. Although the worst dungeon in that game is the Ice Palace. Is that another game I'm gonna have to revisit? I don't know if I want to revisit every game that I feel has wronged me, though. Rift token. I have to jump all the way back now. Good pleasant music, anyway. Oh, really? Really? And now I'm stuck. Good. This is just what I always wanted. Can I... Nope. Okay. Can I do anything about this? Can I switch hats? I cannot switch hats. While this is going on. I am just... What? Okay. That was confusing, but at least it stopped. Maybe they accounted for that. Maybe that was a fail-safe. Really, really weird. Okay. Well, found a new glitch. Probably not a new glitch. It's probably something that people have run into already, because it's unlikely that anything that I could find has not already been found by a speedrunner, because they find everything. Well, this appears to be the way to even before. No, this appears to be the way to the timepiece. I think. What is that? Is that... No... I'm back here again? Really? Why do you have to... Checkpoints. Okay, back to the lab again, yo. That's all I wanted to do. So what is that huge bird sleeping upside down? That's something. What are you two crows doing here? Are you lovers? Are you lovebirds? Relationship gulls? This could be a thing. Undo. Yeah, I can't tell if this is the way I'm supposed to go, but it is at least a way that I can go. Got a present. So many of these rift tokens. It's like there's nothing else. I'm continuing to have a mess of a time with this one act. Okay, this is a place I can go, but something tells me that it's not a place that's actually going to help me get to the timepiece. Once I get this timepiece, then the video is going to end. It's going to end probably very abruptly. Yeah, I don't know where to go. It should be obvious, I feel. I'm supposed to find a horn, but where is the horn that I'm supposed to blow? Could it be over this direction? Well, there's something over this direction. I don't think this is what I want, but... it's another rift token. So many rift tokens. I am gonna have rift you a new hole by the time I'm done with you. Oh, found it. Ah, that took 11 centuries. So that's the horn that I needed to blow. Yep, that's, sure enough, that's the zipline that I needed. Okay, the cutscene was not long enough for me to actually skip it, but it did have a skippable option. I'm gonna head over here now. Oh, man. Yeah, this might have been my least favorite mission. It started out not being so bad, but then I kept finding the wrong ways to go, and that just did not help matters. So as soon as I collect this, we are done. Thank you for... What are you doing? Haven't seen that before. Misbehaving timepiece? Anyway, abrupt ending.